Hi everyone. I know it's been a while since I made an update, so I'm going to try and get everybody up to speed on what's going on. So I wanted to let everybody know I'm getting ready to have my surgery. My date is set for July 3rd, 2025. They are going to be doing a full gastric bypass. They are going to also be handling the hiatal hernia that happened when I had open heart surgery in 2014. And because my right subclavian was wrapped around my esophagus, it created a hiatal hernia. And they are going to fix that. They're also going to lift my liver and look underneath to see what's going on with why my liver's been enlarging so bad. And make sure the clips are okay from surgery I had in 2006. And then they're working on, also there's a possibility of a hernia that I have in my stomach. So it's scheduled for 5 hours, the surgery, on July 3rd. And of course I'm nervous about it, but I'm ready. I know everyone's seen me fluctuate weight quite a bit. So I'm going to explain real quick kind of what's going on. Of course, I've always never been the thinnest of people, but I used to be in really good shape when I was younger, and I worked out a lot. Everyone knows I used to figure skate and everything. The thing is through the years, when things started happening and I stopped doing sports and dance and figure skating, I started gaining weight. And then everything was fluctuating, and I started getting inflammation, and then they said I had lupus and all this other stuff. Well, make a long story short, they turn around and, of course, I had multiple myeloma. I got everything done with that. That actually, you think with cancer you lose weight, but I also had cervical cancer too in 2018, fought through that. I've gained weight since then. Even with chemo, I've gained weight. I have not lost weight, but I did lose weight during my transplant portion of it. So I have fluctuated from 2017. At one point in July of 2017, I was at 210 pounds. I went up to about 275 pounds. Then I dropped back down to like 235, 240 pounds when I had my transplant in 2020, December of 2020. And then I ended up gaining back to 275 after transplant, because transplant put me into a very fast, very early menopause. So none of my hormones and my enzymes are working right. Not needless to say, with that, I had this underlying muscle disorder. I'm constantly on steroids. Constantly. So it's not helping me even when I was on chemo. So now we've gotten to where, since that happened, I now have to lose weight. Well, since last summer, something changed, and I massively started gaining weight. My liver started enlarging. They checked me for everything. They even did the biopsy in December. It's negative for cancer, so they're not sure. I did test positive in my blood work with the multiple myeloma again in January, but it's this big. Eventually, if I have to get back on chemos, my weight has now gained, because I gained 55 pounds since last summer. I'm up to 200. Oh, it got to 230, but I was at 229 when I weighed in yesterday morning. I'm sorry, 329 when I weighed in yesterday morning. I got up to a total of 330. So at this point, we're trying to get it down as fast as possible. I don't qualify for the chemos I need. Everyone knows I am on. I was in a clinical trial before. There's special chemos you need with multiple myeloma. I'm not deemed worthy with my weight, even though my weight is not my fault. Everyone knows I'm not an overeater at all. It's completely due to hormones and enzymes. So what we're doing is this surgery where they cut in the gastric bypass, because they do the full one, they cut out the portion that's affecting the hormones and the enzymes, and that will help regulate everything. So I will lose a lot of weight very, very rapidly. With this, we're trying to get my liver down. So in order for me to qualify for these chemos that I might need, and everyone knows when you open somebody up, if you got cancer, it's going to thrive because inflammation makes it thrive from having surgery. It's not actually the ear that hits it, it's the inflammation that causes it to thrive. So I'm prepared that it's going to jump up, and that's okay. We'll just hit it with the next thing that's going to be on our list. So, but in order to qualify for that, I have to deem myself worthy and lose the weight. So this surgery has a lot of purposes on why I have to have this done. Because my liver is so enlarged, they cannot lift it and get in to do the surgery unless it goes down. The only way to do that is, instead of doing 2 weeks of liquids prior to this surgery, I have to do 6 weeks of liquids. I started this process yesterday, Thursday, and I am going to lose this weight. I weighed in at 329. this morning, on 24 hours later, I lost 4 pounds already. So I'm already at 325. My goal is to get down to 275 in 6 weeks. So I'm trying to lose 55 pounds. And if I can lose that 55 pounds, that will put me at a really good weight to have this surgery. And hopefully we're hoping that will shrink my liver, because we really don't know why it's so big. If they go in me and it doesn't shrink the liver, then they're going to have to immediately come back out and close me up. And I told them, you know what, if you do that, I'm staying on liquids because I'm not doing this again. So we're going to keep losing weight with liquids until you can have the surgery done. So he's hoping he'll be able to lift enough to do it. So I'm just praying for that, and I don't go through all this for nothing. But if I lose the 55 pounds for surgery, they're expecting me to lose between 150 and 175 more within a year. So I should be down about 200 pounds in 1 year. And then after that, you have to go through excess skin surgery. I would have to have my stomach and my legs. My stomach is only covered by insurance. My legs are not covered by insurance. So I have to deem myself worthy again to get a grant or anything like that that can help me. I'll figure out some things at that point. I hope that the whole world would deem me worthy of losing 200 pounds, and maybe I can get that done. But Mayo said that don't worry about it right now. We'll see what happens then. So it's just one step at a time. But I figured I'm going to blog the journey, help people see from a cancer transplant patient's perspective, and about, you know, what it's like to actually go on these liquid diets. You know, it's a lot of control. Like I've been okay. I've had so far. I'm doing it very hardcore. I started. I did an Ensure yesterday morning. I did a Premier Protein yesterday evening. I've done lots of water and liquid IV in between. And that's how I lost the 4 pounds. I also did so far today 1 Ensure and 1 liquid IV, and lots and lots and lots of water. I'm using Circle, and they recommend that at Mayo Clinic for bariatric surgery. And you know what, I'm fine. I'm actually doing fine because I've done this so much in my life where I just don't eat food. It's like actually not a big deal. And usually after 2 or 3 days, your body stops fighting. And mine just didn't care after the first day. Honestly, food's been making me sick for so long that it really doesn't bother me at all. So I think I'm going to get through this quite fine. I could have some soups and stuff like that. I think tomorrow I might have some soup, and I'll just try and go from there. So this is kind of the update. This is where I'm at with everything. I just kind of want to let you guys know this is what I'm preparing for. I know a lot of you have been following my journey for many, many years. I kind of feel like sometimes it's like, hey, that girl's still alive out there? Yes, I am still alive. I'm still kicking. And I'm trying very hard to continue doing that. The key is to follow the rules with cancer. Don't think there's any quick fixes out there. I've had so many people tell me drink this, eat this, and use these essential oils. Listen, it's molecular. The only thing that's going to get it is if you work with science and you work back. And I'm working with the stem cells and T cells. And the T cells, I think, are the future for us to actually find the cure in this. So my next step will be working in that aspect. That is why I'm still alive. Don't let anyone try and sell you on a quick fix out there. Everybody I know that's ever done that is not here anymore. The key is to follow your doctors, be your own advocate, know what's out there, learn your cancer, understand it, understand how to read blood work, understand how to read scans, and you be on top of it and be your own advocate. Because they have a lot of patients, so they can't stay on top of you 24/7. Honestly, you have to be your own advocate and understand what you're up against. As I had to learn everything about this bariatric. I knew nothing about it, but right now I'm learning everything because I want to learn all the things that can go wrong. So if it does, I contact my doctor and I let them know, and that's how I stay alive. So the key is to be proactive in everything, and just don't get yourself down with it, and just take it one day at a time. That's my goal. That's what I plan on doing. And hopefully we can get this underlying muscle disorder I have. I have not been able to walk proper. It started going down last summer when all this started happening. And whatever this underlying muscle disorder is, it's been really, really, really bad. So I am working on that right now. And hopefully doing this will put me in that good spot where I can actually walk again. Because right now, if I stand for 30 seconds, my interspinal muscles start collapsing, and I can't even stand and do dishes or anything like that. So there's a lot happening right now. We're just praying that this will work. So this is my next step. love everybody, and enjoy the journey with me. I will start showing the weight as it drops down. I'll get on there and I'm going to do a picture and show the top weight and show all that, but I'm not going to show you my whole body. But I mean, I'm not going to, you know, do what other people do in like bikinis and stuff like that. But, you know, I will let you guys see and then see how it drops down so you guys can see the journey with me, and maybe give other people out there some inspiration to do it. And you can do it. It's all about, you know, don't let your mind over control you. You control your mind. All right. Thank you, everybody. I'll talk to you soon.